So, I've recently joined a sim racing league intended around rookies, which I myself am, and I figured I would take some time to practice the track beforehand. So, I think pretty much every day this week I'm going to try and upload a video of kind of what my practice regime is. I mean, I'm a full on rookie, so it's kind of getting built as we go. But this is just my first run. We're on Road America, is the track we're going to be running. And yeah, this is just my first, one of my first dry runs of the track. Just kind of feeling it out, getting an idea for where all the braking points are, all the stops lines, things like that. I believe we're going to run through pretty much the entirety of the first lap. And then at the end, we're going to close out with what ended up being my fastest lap. The skin on my car is actually a custom skin that I've been working on. Probably going to change it a bit more, but I'm happy with it for now. It's got my own little logo on the front there, like you can see. And then I, threw a couple other things on there just to make it seem a little more authentic. Coming into a lot of these corners, especially on this first lap, I'm coming out of them very wide, and a lot of that's just due to me not knowing where the braking points are. And by the end of this, I do kind of get a better hang of it. I think there's still a lot more time that I can pull out of this, but for the time being, I think it's pretty good. This corner ends up ends up telling its own little story at one point. We'll get to that later. But yeah, just ripping through here. This corner, a lot of these corners on this track are a lot slower than I thought they would be. I was thinking, high second gear, low to mid third gear, I'd be good for taking a lot of these, but there's a lot of low speed, first gear corners. Or at least I found them to be first gear corners. I imagine once I get a bit more used to the track, I'll be able to rip it. But this straightaway was always a lot of fun. I actually quite enjoy this. Just punch the throttle and let her go. I absolutely love when tracks have things like this in them, which most of them do. I believe I'm going to show the first bit of this lap because I experimented a bit with some braking points. That time I actually braked later. There's a little side road off to the side there that I'm kind of using as my braking point. And then here, I kind of just almost make it around the corner and then not quite. So just kind of experimenting, pushing myself a little more forward with braking points. And then this is the run through of this corner where I get pretty good, and I think, I think I could hit that flat out. Like that, I didn't let off the throttle very much. I was going pretty quick. I think I could hit that flat out. So, next lap, come ripping around that same corner, punch the throttle. I'm into fourth gear before I even get out of the corner. And I didn't realize how much faster I was going. And just right into the wall. This was a fun thing to deal with. It actually, pretty much the only way I could drive straight was I had my wheel almost perfectly locked 90 degrees to the left. This is the only way it would drive straight, so I nursed it all the way back to the pit lane. See, she's looking pretty beat up there. Good thing the pit crews in this game definitely really know what they're doing. Kind of nursing it around a couple of the last corners, and then into the pit lane. And I expected something like that to happen. And you know what? I'm glad I did it here in practice and not in the middle of a race thinking, oh, you know what? I think I can flat out that. Just because it never would have happened. I would have just binned it right into the wall like I just did. So this is why I wanted to do the practice, is figure out the car, figure out the corners, where I can go flat out, where I can't go flat out, and then get myself a bit of confidence built up. So after this, and I think we're gonna let this last one play through. This is the fastest lap that I had all day. I did a couple laps before this recording session. But this lap here was, I think, my fastest, at least within a tenth of my fastest. And I think now it's just going to be down to getting that as a consistent time. I really felt a lot more comfortable with the track on this run. I had done one dry run after the repair, and then I just gunned it right into this one. And there's a few corners, especially this one here coming up, that I feel like I could have gained some time on. I kind of started braking a little bit early, gearing down, and I think maybe I could have started that a couple of panels. There's the panels on the side, and I'm kind of using those as my gauge. I think I could have gone maybe to the next one before I started braking. This one here took this super wide. I'm trying to get out of the habit. I know it's a thing a lot of newer sim racers have. I'm trying to get out of the habit of driving right in the middle of the road. Trying to do the out, in, out kind of method, just rubbing the curbs as much as I can. The two clips aren't 100% synced together, but I think they're pretty close. This is me learning from my mistakes. I absolutely punch it right through this straightaway. And let off just enough that I can get around that corner. It looks like it's right around 190 kilometers an hour I can get around it. And then just punch it right through here till I get to, I think it's that second board. And I just slam on the brakes, get around that corner. I was able to do it in second, which is nice. I was having to take that in first for most of the day. So confidence building, getting up there. Curb to curb, just trying to keep it as clean as possible. At this point I was feeling this is going to be a pretty good lap, but I wasn't sure how good it was going to be. And then just to rip down the straight, making sure I'm not going to run into nothing and ruin everything. And it took me a second. I got across the line there. That 2:19.74 was my fastest lap of the day. But yeah, I'm going to try and upload these daily. If you want, you can like and subscribe.